Procrastination. Ugh, it's the worst, right? We all fight it. Well, today, we're going to arm you with a simple, and I mean surprisingly powerful technique to finally win that fight. This is your guide to absolutely crushing your very first day with the Pomodoro Technique.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. You're just staring at a mountain of reading, that project deadline is screaming at you, or you've got this huge list of exam topics. The clock just seems to get louder and louder, and you can feel that anxiety bubbling up. It's that awful feeling that time is just slipping away, and you have no idea where to even start.
So how do we fix this? Believe it or not, with this, a simple timer. We're going to turn this thing into your personal time tutor. And look, the goal here isn't to create more pressure. It's to pose a simple challenge. Can you give your full attention to just one thing for a few minutes? It's the very first step to making time your ally, not your enemy.
All right, before we even think about starting that timer, we need a roadmap. See, the power of this technique isn't just in the timing itself, it's in the preparation. A truly effective day always starts with a clear and simple plan.
And don't worry, this is not complicated at all. All you need to get going are two basic lists. First up is your activity inventory. That's kind of your master list. And second, you've got your to-do today sheet, which is your daily game plan.
Let's start with that activity inventory. Think of this as your brain dump. Every single task that's bouncing around in your head. Big stuff, small stuff, urgent things that aren't so urgent, just get it all written down here. Don't try to prioritize yet, don't organize it, just get it all out of your head and onto the paper.
Okay, now from that giant list, you're going to choose your priorities for today. What are the most important things you absolutely need to accomplish? Write just those tasks on your to-do today sheet. This is how you transform that overwhelming inventory into a totally manageable, actionable plan for the day ahead.
So your plan is ready, and it's time to start the engine. We're going to approach your first task not as some huge, scary marathon, but as a completely manageable 25-minute sprint.
So what exactly is a Pomodoro? Well, it's 25 minutes of pure 100% uninterrupted work. And this brings us to the most important rule of all. A Pomodoro cannot be divided. It's like an atom. You can't do half a Pomodoro. If you get seriously interrupted, sorry, the session just doesn't count, and you gotta start over.
Okay, so here's the crucial part. You pick that first task from your to-do today list, you wind your timer to 25 minutes, and you just start. For these next 25 minutes, that one single task is your entire world. That means no phone, no new tabs, zero distractions.
When that timer rings, you stop, and I mean you stop immediately. I don't care if you're just a few words away from finishing a sentence, stop. Now comes the really satisfying part. You grab your pen and you mark a big X next to that task on your list. One sprint, done. Feels good, right?
And that X, well, that earns you a reward. You get a mandatory 3 to 5 minute break. Step away from your work, go stretch, grab some water, just stare out the window for a bit. The whole point here is to give your brain a complete reset, which helps you come back to the next task feeling fresh. Okay, one sprint is great, but the real power of this whole technique comes from stringing them together. Let's move on and see how this all builds into a sustainable rhythm for a whole study session.
This is what's known as the rule of 4. After you've knocked out a set of 4 Pomodoros, so that's 4 work sprints and 4 of those short little breaks, you earn a much longer break, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. This is so essential for preventing burnout and letting your brain truly recharge.
Now, it's super important to understand the difference between these breaks. That short 5-minute break, that's for a quick physical and mental reset. But the longer break is for what we call integration. This is your chance to tidy up your desk, maybe grab a real snack, and just let your brain process everything you've just learned. But for both types of breaks, the rule is the same. Avoid any complex mental work. Let your mind truly rest.
You're in the zone. The timer is ticking, and then it happens. An interruption. This is without a doubt the biggest challenge for any beginner. So let's talk about how to defend your focus. First things first, we need to know the enemy. Distractions basically come in 2 flavors. You've got the internal ones, those that come from you, that sudden urge to check your phone or look up some random thing online. And then you have the external ones, which come from the outside world, a friend asking a question or a notification popping up.
Now, the strategy for handling these is actually simple but incredibly powerful. If the interruption comes from inside your own head, just quickly jot it down and get right back to your task. You acknowledge it, but you don't follow it down the rabbit hole.
If it's an external interruption, you use the inform, negotiate, callback method. Politely let them know you're in a focused work block, negotiate a better time to connect, and then, and this is key, make sure you actually follow up. This puts you back in control.
But listen, sometimes a Pomodoro is going to get broken. It just happens. Perfection is not the goal here. The mantra is simple and so powerful. The next Pomodoro will go better. Every single session is just practice for the next one.
So you've planned, you've sprinted, you've rested, and you've defended your focus. Let's talk about the end of the day and the real payoff of all this effort.
At the end of the day, take a second to look at your to-do today sheet. Count up all those X's. This is not about judgment, it's about observation. You're getting a real, honest look at your true effort, which helps you plan tomorrow's tasks more realistically and build some serious motivation.
And this is the ultimate goal. It's not just about getting more done. As Francesco Cirillo, the guy who invented this technique, found, this whole process has a huge effect on stress. By breaking time into these manageable little chunks, you get back a sense of control, and that initial anxiety just starts to melt away. You've successfully flipped your relationship with time completely on its head. It's no longer this source of pressure, but a structured partner in your work. You're not racing against the clock anymore. You're working with it, one focused 25-minute block at a time.
You have the entire toolkit now, the plan, the process, and the strategies you need to protect your focus. The only thing left to do is start your very first 25-minute sprint. So, what's the first task you're going to tackle?